Welcome to Jerry Brewer Alumni Stadium. Tonight, the Jasper Wildcats here on Joe Rollletter Field will take on a modern-day Wildcat football team. Jasper Wildcats are 4-0 in the season against Mater Dei, which is 1-3. Hello, everybody. I'm Craig Schneider, along with Bob Welp and Jeremy Marcos, bringing you the video. And Bob, the Wildcats last week of the Jasper Wildcats, pretty well a dominant performance against Boise as expected, winning that football game 45-0, and pretty well the first team got their work in early in that first quarter and all that before we kind of turned things over to the JV players and underclassmen. But you know, in that football game, one thing that I guess is a concern as we come into this one was that we were without Lance Dawkins, number 23. He was actually out with, I think, a groin injury, and he looks like he's going to be healthy. He's actually walking out on the field for the coin toss right now with Blake Mann, the quarterback. And so I expect him to be healthy in this football game, but that was one thing that, you know, was kind of a concern for the Wildcats last week.
Well, and not only on the offensive side of the ball, but and also on the defensive side of the ball. But the guys that came in, they did a heck of a job. You know, but it's the offensive linemen. They're going to really have their hands full tonight because Mater Dei, unlike the other teams that usually run a four-man front, they will bounce down into a five-man front. And what that means is every game that we've watched this year when they've run the 4-4, the linebackers came in the middle. You hit Dawkins. You alluded to it in one game where he went out wide to the tackles because that's where the holes were. But when you have a five-man front and you've got those linebackers lined up different, the offensive linemen are going to see a change, and they're going to have to make the right decision on the move.
You know, and the thing is with Mater Dei, I mean, they've not really been blown out in any of their games. 1-3, they lost to Central 21-0, and that game was kind of a mess for both teams. Really, it was a combined of 9 turnovers, including 7 interceptions and 2 lost fumbles. But they are a football team. You know, defensively, I think they're going to get after it, and obviously going to do whatever they can to try to stop the Wildcat rushing attack. It has been dominating the conference so far in the first 4 games. But they've got a young quarterback. It's Mason Wunderlich, who is their quarterback, and on the season, he is 67 of 104 passing with 572 yards, 2 touchdowns. However, he has thrown 6 interceptions. And again, he's a sophomore, just kind of getting his feet wet. But last week, I'll tell you, against Memorial, they lost that game 13-10. But he was 20 of 24 for 176 yards and a touchdown in that game.
Yeah, and I've had some guys bring up the, you know, well, Mater Dei got beat by Memorial, you know, and we won 14-3, but we should have really, you know, had that game up if we wouldn't have put the ball down 4 times. But when Mater Dei and Memorial meet, that's the only 2 Catholic schools. That's not too far off from the Jasper Southridge matchup. So, you know, they really get after each other. Memorial, you knew was going to start to get better because they had Pence at quarterback. And Mater Dei is very good with the legendary coach Mike Gable over there. That guy can get anything. If it's inside a athlete to be pulled out, he's the man to do it. So Mater Dei's got a nice shot tonight anytime you got a man like that walking the sidelines.
Yeah, Mike Gable, 228 wins, 74 losses, and 24 years at the school. So again, his record speaks for itself, and tons of tournament success over the years. And the kickoff actually will go out of bounds, so the Wildcats will have the football at the 35 to start things off. And of course, we'll take a look at the Wildcat starting lineup. The front line staying pretty well the same with Ashton Sheeter, the center. The guards are Tyler Kelly and Quade Pope on the left side. Right tackle is Carson Chanley, and left tackle Gus Heichelbeck. And quarterback again, number 5, Blake Mann, with Lance Dawkins in the backfield with him. 2 slots include Berger, number 21. Isaac Day is 31. Connor Foley, you'll see him at a tight end and also split out every once in a while. And then Jack Albrand is also a starter, number 4, at a wide out spot, split to our near side. So first play is given to Dawkins straight up. And so just a gain of about 2 on that initial play.
Well, unlike the last week's game against Boise, Mater Dei is they're very stout and very quick. Their players are very much like the Jasper players. They're not very tall in stature, but they're very solid, and they come off the ball really fast. So, and here they're going back to a 4-man front.
All right, so 2nd down and 8. Now looking to throw the football, and they toss it out there. Day's able to haul it in, but he is met right away. Trying to see who made the tackle on that play. I think it was number, I see it right, 86, I believe, for the Mater Dei defense, but yeah, the play only goes for about a gain of about 5 or 6, so it's going to be a 3rd and 2.
Well, Taylor came up and made good contact when he brought the ball in, and that's one thing that you're really going to see from a Mike Gable team is fundamentals. So it's going to be interesting to see if Jasper can break some long ones like they did the last time.
So the option, here comes Blake Mann, and quickly into the backfield, number 3, Jackson Brantley making a nice play, and Mann's not able to get the first down yardage, gains maybe a yard on that play.
Yeah, that was a total sellout. They just guessed, you know, they haven't ran man to the outside yet on either side of the field, the strong or the weak side. So they knew it was coming, and they just kind of rolled the dice. But you got to be careful with man back here.
Yeah, so Mann is going to drop back to punt here, so we'll see if the Wildcats try to look for an opening or something. Mann actually sees he's going to go for it, and now it's a one-on-one matchup, and Mann, I think, is going to win this. So as number 22 came up, that was Drew Martin, but again, the Wildcats have been doing that for a number of years, and obviously with a running quarterback like Mann being the punter, they go for that run pass punt option, and Mann's able to get that first down.
Well, there's really no pressure on Mann. He knows he's got the total trust of Coach Lewis. He's seen it, he had the speed, he got there, and the collision was a heck of a collision.
So 1st and 10 for the Jasper Wildcats. We've seen Mann be physical both offensively and defensively this year. Now Berger's going to come into motion, but Mann sees the quarterback sneak opening, and he just rushes it and still battles about 8 white jerseys there to get across the 50-yard line.
Well, you talk about the triple option to where he can either, you know, to Dawkins, keep it around the edge or flip it out to Day or Berger, who's ever trailing on the pitch. But he also can look out there and see when they go into a 4-man front and they really spread it out, he just kind of taps his center on the left hip, 4 yards, and here we go, you know, with 2nd and short.
All right, so Mann again under center. Here comes Berger in motion. Did he give it to the fullback? Yes, he did, and Mater Dei read that really well. Number 50 had the initial hit. That was James Ralph, but also number 63 in on the play, and that's Nicholas Boots.
Well, the one thing that we're finding out from Mater Dei that we really didn't see a whole bunch, well, we see it absolutely nowhere in the Bossy game. Harrison game a little bit. Wrights kind of did it, but it's the defensive lineman getting low into the legs of the offensive lineman. And when you get locked up, what you do is you take your arms and you kind of swing them out like hooks, and hopefully you catch a leg. And on that one, they got Dawkins.
So a 3rd and 5 here. Ball rests at the 48-yard line. Catch just a couple yards into Mater Dei territory. Now it's going to be the option. And there, man, here he goes. He's got an opening to the outside. And he is going to be caught from behind, but not before he's able to get just right there at the 13-yard line. So a big play for Mann. Pick up a 35 on that 3rd down play.
Well, Taylor is in the defensive backfield for Mater Dei, and he's making quite a few tackles. That's not a good sign for your defense. And Mann that probably took as long as any time I've seen this year when he went to the outside before he made his decision. He just kind of just waited and waited in his patience, and then it finally paid off.
So 1st and 10 for the Cats from the 13-yard line. Straight up the middle for the Wildcat rushing attack. Mann again keeping the football. And he'll pick up 5 quick ones there.
In each of the 4 games that we played, it's always seemed like the defenses for the opposing team has been keen on Dawkins or keen on Mann. Mater Dei is having their front 4 concentrate so much on Dawkins because the interior ward is running, but they've got a couple of spies in the back for Mann.
Dawkins to the left side, powers over one man and takes it into the end zone. So, welcome back Lance Dawkins, and he puts the Wildcats on the board 6-0.
Well, last week when his brother came in, we seen him score down here, and he was able to bounce off a few runners. But we also talked about the 213-pound load that Lance brings with him as compared to about the 167 that his brother does. And when he made contact with Mr. number 22 down there, that was all she wrote.
So a nice offensive drive for the Wildcats to start this football game. They're up 6-0, and Sermersheim out there to kick the extra point, and he does. So he stays perfect on the year. The Wildcats have not missed an extra point all year, and right now lead this football game 7-0 with 7:19 to go here in the first. You're watching the Wildcats here on 18 WJTS. So the Wildcat rushing attack moves the Wildcats against the Mater Dei Wildcats, and Jasper up 7-0. Big run there by Blake Mann of 35 yards helps set up the 8-yard touchdown run, and now Mater Dei. And there's an opening. You mentioned Taylor. He's one of the athletes on this football team. We've seen him on defense. We're going to see him on offense. And right there, nice play as he's able to return that all the way to the 43-yard line.
Yeah, that's the third play tonight to where he's really stood out. The two being the catch out there on the side and dropping him right away before the first down, and then stopping man from getting in there. And now that run back right there. So we need to keep an eye on 86 tonight.
All right, so a quick pitch to the outside. Number 21 hauls it in, and that's Preston Turner, and he's going to be close to a first down. So Mason Wunderlich, mentioned the starting quarterback, sophomore for this football team. He's 6'2", 195, and again, a player who continues each week to get better and better. He's thrown for over 100 yards in each game, including against Vincennes. He was 16 of 28 in that game for 157 yards passing and 2 touchdowns.
Well, their pass scheme is very close to Memorial.
Another
Nice
quick pitch
grab
out there. So on 2 quick catches by Preston Turner. And 1st and 10 for the Mater Dei Wildcats.
That's one thing that a coach like Gable will point out to his young quarterback. Take your time and take what they give you. Don't force it in to where you've got 2 black shirts around a white one. Find your man. If not, roll out, you get pressure, throw it away. So for a sophomore, so far, in a few plays, he's looked very good.
He's going to look to his right side and rifles one over there, but a little bit high, looking for number 3, and that's Jackson Brantley, a 5'9" senior.
I kind of felt like the guy that calls the basketball games when he makes the comment of the guy hitting 30 free throws in a row. And the next one he's assured to miss. I just started bragging on this young man, and then he sails one. That's just sad.
Still throws a hard ball, though.
Well, he's got some height on him, too. His helmet seems to be sticking up above all his teammates.
So stops the clock at 6:12. Jasper up 7-0. 2nd and 10 for the Mater Dei Wildcats. Now he finds another slant, and this time he hits one of his favorite targets. That's Ryan Taylor, number 86, for a first down.
Well, he's just like Pence did to us in a few times, and what the Wrights quarterback did to us. When their timing is so on, whenever he's coming out of his curl, as soon as he turns around, that ball's already in his face. So as he's turning, his hands are already up. And when that timing's there, if Jasper's not on their horses, they're not going to get there.
Wunderlich pitches out to the outside, hits a slot receiver, number 21, Preston Turner. And the Wildcats actually able to maybe knock that back for a 1-yard loss or so.
Wildcats did a nice job of reacting to that. The quarterback is doing such a nice job of dropping back. And when 21 comes out, when he throws the ball, it's where he needs to be instead of where he's at. Now, with Jasper playing this tight, if that's not on the money, that could be going pick 6 the other way.
Can't handle the snap there, and quickly all over it is Connor Foley, number 89, coming from his defensive end spot with a big sack.
Yeah, you talk about Foley getting that, but as you see him walk back, you've got 4 other black shirts right beside him. So, he was the one that was up in front of the pack, but Jasper's pursuit was there, and if it stays that way. Now, the fumble that they just had right there was a little bit of the issue they had in the Memorial game. So they cannot come up here and be loose with the football and expect to get a win against Jasper.
All right, so now a 3rd and long situation. Loss of 10 yards on that play makes it 3rd and 20, and there's a flag there. I don't think Mater Dei was quite set for that play, so that's going to move them back another 5.
Looks like Coach Gable has kind of mellowed out a little bit with a few years under his belt. I remember when he would come walking out onto the field and address his players for not being disciplined.
All right, so that moves the football back to the 47-yard line. So 3rd and 25, clock running, 4:17 on the clock. Jasper up 7-0 against Mater Dei Wildcats. Winterlick, look at that, quickly coming through. And is that Foley again? Absolutely. What another big play.
We've talked about it week in and week out. Each game that's here that Jasper plays, it's Maringer, it's Peters, it's Mann, it's Foley, it's Dawkins, it's, Kibbe. You could just go on and on. 11 guys playing as one. Jasper's got a chance to do something really special this year.
Oh, way too high for the punter, and he's just going to have to fall on the football. So Grant Maringer was there to tag him. So number 15, Luke McDermott. Snap was way over his head, so the Wildcats of Jasper with great field position right here at the 23-yard line.
As far as specialty teams goes, Grant Maringer's had himself a nice couple of weeks where he blocked the punt, had a nice return, did a nice job tonight. Now he rolls back on the defense, and he's just like a bolt of lightning getting in there. So now his play on specialty teams has really turned over to the other side.
All right, so man under center, he's going to look to throw. He chucks it out, and he's got Berger. Now Berger, though, one-on-one makes a move, but after that, met by two Mater Dei defenders, including number 13, Alex Money.
Man throws such a good ball on the down and outs, but when he's throwing those little screen passes, I'd really like to see a little bit more smoke on those. You float those out with the speed that you'll find in the SIAC, that's easily going the other way.
All right, so second down, Paul at the 21-yard line, 8 yards to go for a first. Dade comes in motion, then goes back the other way. He'll take the pitch on the left side, looking to go straight up, and he is met by number 3, Jackson Brantley.
Well, Mater Dei is one of their defensive schemes. When you get past the defensive line, your linebackers and your cornerbacks, when they see when they see man step to either side, whether he's going to go to the right for the pitch, the triple option that way, or come over to the left, they're just shooting. Like the other teams were shooting the gaps in the inside tackles, these guys are shooting wide to take that out.
So now they're going to actually give it to Dawkins. Dawkins sees an opening. He's going to have enough of the first down as he's able to get it down to the 11-yard line.
Jasper doing especially what they're supposed to be doing right now. Just ball control, go down, punch it in. Let's just get the W, get the game over with, and let me get on down to Florida.
You're anxious, aren't you?
I am.
All right, so 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. It's at the 11-yard line, so it's not goal. But they give it to, and he loses the football. Lance Dawkins saw an opening there, but then drops it on the ground, and quickly Brantley, number 3, picks it up for the Mater Dei Wildcats. So Wildcats of Jasper with a great opportunity to early on take control of this football game, and they turn it over, something we haven't really been seeing since the Memorial game.
Well, in discussions with other Jasper experts out there, the fans, they were like, how is Mater Dei going to stay with us? That right there.
Yep.
You can't put the ball down. Dawkins came through and he had both hands on the ball, and then it opened up and he went back to the side to where you can get an extra step, and at that time, here come the hand.
All right, so Mater Dei with the football. Quick pitch out there. Finds Taylor. He tries to dance around, but we got a penalty flag that was thrown there, so we'll see if that's a hold.
Well, Grant Maringer got down there in a hurry. And the 2 receivers on the far side, that's got to do the crackback, so when the receiver comes over, he's got a lane. Kind of grabbed him and held him and moved him out of the way, and there came the yellow flag.
All right, so they've yet to walk this off. We'll see where they spot it. I guess half the distance is where they're going to go. So they're going to spot it at the 4-yard line. So that's going to move Mater Dei back. Will remain first down, though. So 1st and 13 from the 4.
Well, Mater Dei has been their own worst enemy tonight. And that's got to be driving Coach Gable crazy, but Jasper has to take advantage.
Oh, there's a big penetration there. Trying to see who made the play. I think it was 63 making it, and that's Liam Kibbe coming up hard.
All of them. Every single one of them has speed. That has just got to be an absolute nightmare for the opposing offensive line.
Actually, check that. It was Ashton Sheeter, number 53. So, again, a lot of quickness from that middle linebacker spot.
Well, seeing Sheeter pick up that fumble and go, we know he's got speed.
Yeah. All right, so second down. Now he's getting a handoff in the end zone, but the Cats are able to slow him up. He maybe gains 2 on that run, so Joey Pierre having a tough time running the football.
Well, I'm really going to be surprised to see Mater Dei put the ball up in the air. It was just 2nd and 13. Now it's, no gain there. 3rd and 13. If Jasper, Shelton will probably bring some heat. What do you really got to lose? Our cornerbacks are playing really good football right now, playing very tight coverage. And you just don't, as Mater Dei, you just don't want to give up the 2 points. And
all right,
here
so
they go.
Looking to his left side. He's got Taylor over there. He's going to try to get to the marker and actually loses the football. But he was down and was able to get enough for that first down. So a big play there for the Mater Dei Wildcats to get that first down on a 3rd and 13.
And that's why I sit up here and the coaches are down there on the field. Not only did I not think they would throw the ball, they got the first down out of it. Well executed by Mater Dei.
So a 14-yard hookup on that play, 1st and 10, and we come to the end of the first quarter. So Jasper had a great opportunity after the bad snap on a punt. A great field position, but then fumbled the ball back to the Mater Dei Wildcats. When we come back, they'll be 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line here on 18 WJTS. All right, so the Mater Dei Wildcats, 14-yard hookup on that 3rd down situation. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Set to start the second quarter. Beautiful night here at Jerry Brewer Alumni Stadium, and a hookup right there. So Preston Turner, one of his favorite targets. He's able to connect there and see if they do move the chains or not. Yes, they will. So we'll call it an 11-yard hookup.
Well, we're doing a nice job of getting up and keeping the yards after the catch down, other than the 3rd and 14, of course. But we're just not getting the pressure on him the way we need to. Now, he's awful young, so if you get some pressure, maybe he'll get happy feet.
Wonderlic trying to set up the screen straight ahead, and he's got a man, but Sheeter's right there to stop it quickly. So he's trying to set up Joey Pierre there for a little tailback screen up the middle, but it goes for about 5 yards on that play.
Well, even though they got 5 yards on there, Sheeter did an absolute wonderful job. He was tied up with 2 guys and was able to shed them and reach out and bring the back down, because it was, if he wasn't going to get him, there was going to be some more yards chewed up.
Wonderlic again to the right side, connects and maybe gains a yard on that play. So number 21, Preston Turner, wasn't able to get away from the Wildcat defense, and we'll actually say no gain on that play.
Jasper did a nice job of finally getting some pressure up there, but they got the pressure because Coach Shelton sent a couple extra players up there. Now what happens when you bring a couple extra players? That opens up that middle. So Jasper's got to be careful for 2 things. If you're bringing that much heat and coming that hard, that middle screen, if that comes in, and then a little screen from the outside into the middle.
So the ball at the 35-yard line, 3rd and 5, pitch out here, and it's a little too tall there for number 3, Jackson Brantley, not able to haul that down. He's only 5'9", so couldn't quite reach up to get that football, and now Mater Dei will have to punt again.
Well, case in point right there, he had pressure on the 2nd down, and then 3rd down on that swing pass, they started to get the white shirts from the offensive line pushed back into his face. So he started shuffling his feet, and then he threw high.
Actually, the Wildcats did not have anybody back until the last second, and then I'm going to say not so good punt, and it actually takes a Wildcat of Jasper bounce, and so Jasper will have the ball right at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Well, when he put that ball up in the air, we had Isaac Goebel that was sitting there, and everybody starts screaming, get away, get away, get away, because you don't want the ball to hit the ground and come up and hit you in a live ball, and of course Mater Dei recovers. He just kind of dove out of the way there. That punt was not one that he'll write home to mom about.
So the third series for the Jasper Wildcats, and again, great field position, actually spotted at the 49-yard line. Gives it to Dawkins straight up, and Dawkins, he had the touchdown run, but his last touch was a fumble, and he's not really been breaking his big runs just yet. He only picks up about 4 there.
It's the constant pounding. If Jasper is truly as good a condition as we think that they are, towards the mid to late third quarter is usually when runs like that start to open up. Mater Dei is very stout. When he comes through that line, they're shooting at him hard. He had 4 guys hit him right there. And if he gets through that one, I'm going down for autographs.
Second down, Dawkins, there he goes. Now he plows forward, and he's able to get to the 40-yard line, and that's going to be a first down pickup there, so a gain of about 8 on that run.
Well, a lot better job there by Pope and Heichelbeck getting out there and getting some guys pushed out of the way to where the first initial contact with Dawkins was 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, and the other guys were coming in in by the side, and you're just not bringing Lance Dawkins down like that.
And the thing is, when you look at the Wildcat offensive line versus a defensive line, Jasper looks like they got him out-man, but now there's man carrying the football, and he's able to get across the 35, so a nice quick little run there of about 6.5 yards.
I know it's human nature that when you're out there watching and man comes this way or Dawkins comes this way, the pitch today or Berger, that's where your eyes follow. But if you just watch the dark gold helmets of Jasper against Mater Dei, that offensive line is just hitting them and driving them back. Every once in a while, Mater Dei will guess the right gap to shoot, but for the majority of the night, that offensive line has been moving people.
Now I'm just looking at their nose guard, 5'10", 190-pound Clay Martin. He's a sophomore, and Ashton Sheeter should just dominate him all night. And man rolls out to his left, got a little bit of pressure from James Ralph, number 50, and was forced to throw it way short of his receiver.
Most defenses will shoot their defensive end in, and then the Jasper lineman takes advantage of that and pushes him in. But Mater Dei has taken more of a straight towards the sideline approach and taken away that run, because it appears that man really likes the run first option. But man did a nice job there burying it at Albrand's feet, so you don't take the sack.
Man sees the opening. He rushes forward. He needed 5 to get the first down. He's going to be real close. Actually, he will. He gets 6 there. So he's able to get it to the 29-yard line. So he's doing a great job of reading that opening just right behind his center on those quarterback sneaks.
On those particular plays, the ones that he went up in the middle, they're taking their defensive tackles and they're actually shooting them out towards the outside, and they're bringing their linebackers in. And just like you said, man goes up there and sees that, taps him on the hip, let him know which way he's going, and he's picking up 4 or 5 yards.
So reads it this time, and he gives it to the fullback, and the fullback continues to punish guys. So he's starting to get on a roll here on this run, in this series of downs, and that is going to be to the 21, which he needed to get, or I'm sorry, to the 19, maybe just about a half yard short.
Well, this is when the players on the Mater Dei side look at their coaches like they're crazy, because their coaches tell them, look, you got to hit him this way, and that's how you bring him down. The guys in the white shirts that's actually doing the hitting with Dawkins, they're looking at the coaches like, do you really see what's coming towards us?
Again, Dawkins was in street clothes last week, and boy, he is just a big kid. Man pitches it out to Berger. Great hands by Berger to hang on to that football. That pitch was quick and hard to the right. Berger's able to haul it in with one hand, and looks like where they're going to spot this football, he still may be just a little bit short.
Well, where he pitched the ball at, I'm not so sure that it wouldn't have went out of bounds if Berger didn't do that. But when Berger made contact with it, if he didn't bring that ball in, it was probably going to die right there. So a tremendous job of pulling that ball in and saving one for Jasper.
And right here, man's got to see that wide open in the middle of the field. If he doesn't take the quarterback sneak, and now we get a jump. Boy, oh, we cannot have that happen on a 3rd and inches. I mean, I could see the wide open middle of the field. He probably could have ran for a touchdown there.
Well, the longer Jasper lets Mater Dei in this game and they gain confidence, that play right there, their crowd is probably the loudest opposing crowd that we've seen. They brought up a nice little chunk of people. And they start cheering that hard. That gives a little bit of life to that defense. We've got to punch it in and take that life away.
All right, so -5 makes it 3rd and 5. Now there goes man. He makes a nice spin move, and he continues to battle. And, hey, who cares? He gets the first down, so 7-yard run on 3rd and 5 there.
Extremely physical runner for a quarterback. If you've got a dual-threat quarterback, they've got to be physical. Unless, of course, you're Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray, that, you know, that speed is unworldly that they have. But at the high school level, man has shown that no matter who comes at him, he's got the ability to get physical if he needs to and to put it into a different gear.
So Blake Mann listed at 6'2", 183, but he is extremely strong for his size.
Nice.
He's got a wide open man, and that is Berger, and a nice little pitch and catch for an 18-yard touchdown.
Berger does a nice job of coming in like he's blocking. Pitch man goes out. Mater Dei comes flying up. Man steps back, delivers a beautiful ball. Berger pulls it in, and the rest is elementary, as they say.
Absolutely. So the Jasper Wildcats, 13 points on the board right now, 5:39 to go as we get set for the extra point. Number 12 out there to kick it. Alex Sermersheim doing the duties this time, but he's been splitting a little bit with Sam Leonard, who's doing a great job as well. Leonard actually kicked a field goal last week, but Sermersheim splits the uprights, and Jasper 14, Mater Dei nothing here on 18 WJTS. So Mater Dei sends Preston Turner and Ryan Taylor deep. So Taylor with a nice return earlier.
It'd be interesting to see if they go towards him.
14-0 Jasper, 5:39 on the clock here. Second quarter action, and Taylor's going to field that at the 6-yard line, looking up the middle. Now he runs to the left side, and a quick flag flies, and he's making a move there and is going to be able to get across the 35 to about the 36-yard line. So 30-yard return, but we got a penalty flag sitting right there at the 33-yard line.
Well, it looked like we had a little block in the back going over here on the side, but if that goes against Mater Dei after a nice run there, Jasper just put up 2 scores. Coach Gable over there's got to be throwing his hands up in the air.
Right. Actually, a holding is the call there. So, and they threw that flag early when the ball was in the air, actually.
The back judge had a pretty good arm on there. He sailed that pretty good.
All right, so a young quarterback, Mason Wunderlich, has been connecting with some receivers, but not has hit that home run just yet, and he's going to go under center this time, and actually Mater Dei is with an eye backfield there. And actually they're going to run a little reverse pass, looking to the middle of the field, and there's Allbrand with a chance to knock it down, and it falls incomplete. So Allbrand looked like got a little bit of a hand, but Taylor almost caught that football.
Yeah, Allbrand got up, timed it perfectly. And there's an old saying that when you're on the defensive backfield, if the ball's coming to your receivers, look at his eyes, because his eyes will tell you everything. And when I guess he noticed his eyes, he turned his head and did great job of reading the pass and getting up and making contact with the receiver at the right time, so they didn't get a penalty.
It was actually senior Ty Ficklin who they had throw that football. Now they're going to go back into the shotgun formation. Well, look at that sandwich hit. Man, oh man. Number 53 putting the pop with Sheeter, and was that number 58 also?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, Potts and Sheeter just really leveled him. No gain on the play.
That man just went from about 2.5 to 3 feet wide to about 12 inches. Boy, did he get hit from both sides and get hit hard.
So actually they give him credit for about a yard or so. So 3rd down and 9. Wunderlich rifles one right there, and he connects. Big hook up to number 24, Landon Foltz, and he gets the first down yardage.
Well, nice job of the initial pressure by Jasper, but the guy that came through got picked up by the halfback, and no pressure on that quarterback. He doesn't have to check down. He sets his foot and he delivers, and all night long, when he's had a few seconds to throw the ball, he's delivered. So we've got to get pressure consistently coming up from that line.
So 12-yard hook up gives him a first down. Now there goes Pierre, number 25, and he's able to run for about 4, maybe 5 yards on that play.
We shot the linebacker on the backside in for a stunt, and the quarterback did a nice job of handing the ball off at the right time, and our linebacker ran right by him. But good pursuit on the backside to keep it to a minimal gain, because when our linebacker came up, that just opened it up.
3:47 on the clock. Jasper up 14-0 on the Mater Dei Wildcats. They give it to on the sweep there, and now a quick flag flies. So that was Sheeter who was able to pick up number 3, Jackson Brantley, and I think this is going to be coming back. So Mater Dei just really stifled on penalties. So that's going to be a holding penalty, and they will mark it off from where the marker is, and that's at the 43-yard line, so they'll move them back 10 yards there. So Mater Dei is going to have a tough situation here.
Yeah, they're definitely shooting themselves in the foot, but Potts got out there so fast, the offensive lineman from Mater Dei could not get onto his far shoulder to drive him back inside, so he had to hold him.
So second down and 15 from the 33-yard line.
They were successful early going across the middle here.
Wonderlic a little too tall on that pass there. Defending for the Wildcat, number 2, Ross Peter, and right behind him was Ian Giesler. So that falls incomplete, stops the clock at 3:29 to go here in the first half. So it'll be 3rd and 15 from the 33.
Well, Giesler and Peters kind of caught a break there because he was there. If that ball's down a little bit, if he can put it in the numbers, you know, that's a reception. So they were there. He wasn't going to get many yards after the catch, but, you know, on second down, they're getting over half of it. So very fortunate the ball went over his head.
Wonderlic throws the outside, throws a duck. The Cats have a chance to get there, but it does fall incomplete. Oh, my goodness. The Wildcat defenders were not able to make a comeback on the football, but Landon Foltz almost hauled that in, but it falls incomplete.
Tremendous effort by Foltz. I didn't think he was going to be able to get there, and I'll be gosh darn if he didn't hit the ground so hard, he would have probably pulled that in. That was a tremendous effort.
All right, so 4th down, another punt situation here for Mater Dei. And snap is right there, and again, a short punt, but it does take a Mater Dei bounce this time, and it's going to rest right there at the 39-yard line. So 3:13 on the clock, Bob. Jasper up 14-0, and great opportunity to put some more points on the board here.
Well, Aston Sheeter, of all the good things that he's been doing, when that punt came down, it bounced about a yard to his left. If that takes a hard right, it's an open ball, and they've got 4 Mater Dei players there. Our return team has to find the ball a little bit. But you alluding to the score, Jasper should be up 21-0 right now. Dawkins, we're going to score right there if it doesn't hit the turf. So
right.
Jasper's really controlling the game, but we got to put some points up. Just a few more.
All right, so Mann actually keeps it. He rode Dawkins' pouch right there, but held on to it for about a 4-yard gain.
It's important to put those points on the board because you want to take the life away from Mater Dei. Anybody that's watched this game to this point, Mater Dei's got some fight in them. You know, they're bringing it. So you've got to go and you've got to push it in the end zone and get their heads hanging low and then really put it to them.
So Mann keeps it again. Again, he takes some punishment, but does a great job with those spin moves. And again, his quickness just moves him forward, and he gets right to the 50-yard line on that run.
Well, most of the punishment that he gets when he runs like that, it's nowhere close to the punishment that he deals out. But as a quarterback, when he runs up in the middle, especially when you get a little later in the season, you start to hold your breath a little bit more because you don't want to see him on the sidelines.
So, man, looking to throw, drops straight back. And we got a penalty flag. This should be on the Wildcats of Jasper, I think, this time. But, wow, what a catch over there. Connor Foley is just doing the job as a tight end, running good routes and everything. So he finds an open space there and catches it kind of on his hip there. But the pass will not count, I don't believe.
Yeah, I'm the way Jasper's walking back, holding against Jasper. You know, the penalty happens, so it moves us back, but that catch right there in the run, the throw on the run by Mann was eerily close to the one that they did in the earlier game where Foley was down here on the far sideline, far end zone, and ran it in for a touchdown. You know, that was a tough catch then, and that was a tough catch, but Foley shows he's got the hands.
Well, the Wildcats are really going to have to start moving things here. That's 2:16 on the clock right now, and they are pushed all the way back to the 38-yard line. They actually started this drive on the 39.
Well, if we're going to bust a long one, you know, this would be a good time.
Pitch out, and he can't handle it. Is he able to keep possession? Yes, he did. So he was looking for Day there, but Day couldn't handle the pitch. So now the Cats going even further back to the 34.
Well, Mann got bumped right there. The pitch was a little bit low and a little bit behind him. Day saved his quarterback there by getting on there because the turnover is going to go against Mann. But like I said, Day did a nice job, live to fight another day. And with a negative play like that, that may make Coach Lewis just kind of walk this clock down to zeros.
So the clock runs at 1:35 right now. Jasper up 14-0. Mann keeps it. Now he finds an opening to the outside. He's sprinting to the sideline. He gets across the 40, and they will stop the clock. So
yeah, nice job getting out of bounds.
So number 18 making a stop is J.T. Mayer. So he's able to run that ball. Actually, gain of about 9 on the run.
Well, getting that many yards back, we've definitely seen Jasper cover this much real estate. 3rd and 17. We've got several plays this year that are 17 yards or more. But with the punishment that he likes to hand out, knowing that the clock has to be stopped, a really nice job of doing what's best for the team.
Day comes in motion. They're going to run the option to that side. He pitches it out to Day. So Day's looking for it, and he gets across the 50 to about the 48-yard line.
See if Coach Gable calls timeout.
Yeah, and the Cats will call a timeout here, I believe. So actually he rushes the football to the Mater Dei 48. So tell you what, we'll take a break here with 1:13 to go. Jasper leads 14-0. It'll be 4th down when we come right back here on 18 WJTS. All right, so Mater Dei actually calls that timeout to stop the clock with 1:13. Mann's back there to punt.
Well, they finally run somebody back there. I was going to say it didn't look like Mater Dei was buying the fact that Jasper was going to punt.
So they actually, looks like Preston Turner, number 21. Mann is going to punt this football. Gets a nice high one there. And, it takes a Mater Dei. Well, yeah, I guess that would be a Mater Dei bounce. It went right into the end zone. So Mater Dei is going to get the football at the 20-yard line. So we got 1 minute and 6 seconds to go. Jasper leads 14-0. Mater Dei coming out on the football field. And again, a passing attack that they have, and we'll see if they can work a 1-minute offense in this situation.
Well, you're down 14-0. You got a young quarterback. If you're going by the numbers, you kind of just eat this clock up because you're deep. Maybe take one play if you hit it, then go from there. But, you're also down 14-0. Gable may be getting aggressive.
All right, so Wunderlich looking long and not able to run up to it. So Albrand was pretty well step by step with Ryan Taylor there, and the pass was a little bit long and falls incomplete.
Yeah, that was going to have to be a pass for all ages for that to fall in there. Albrand had him covered like a glove.
All right, so exactly 1 minute to go. Actually, noticing one thing with the Wildcat defense tonight, Michael Beekler is in a defensive tackle spot, number 24 right now. Brought Foley in as a defensive end. Now they're actually going to run the football. Looks like they're just going to be content with when they get here. I think they're going to try maybe at least one more play. No, they're actually, that's Jasper calling the timeout here.
Well, that was a great call because that was Beekler that came up to make the stop.
All right, so Jasper Wildcats call a timeout. 51.8. When we come back, it'll be 3rd and 10 from the 20 here on 18 WJTS. All right, actually, there was a loss of 1 yard, so the ball's at the 19-yard line. 3rd and 11. 51 seconds to go here. And Wunderlich looks down the middle of the field, and look at Foley at 6'5", knocks that ball away. Connor Foley having a football game tonight, Bob.
Well, if the offensive lineman does not get into your numbers and drive you back to where you got to use your hands to help shed him off, defensive linemen are taught fundamental football. Put your hands up, try to knock one down. Who knows what you'll get? Well, right there, we found out.
Well, and again, a great situation for the Cats if you can get a great punt return here, or even one to about the 30-yard line. We got 2 kickers that have the toe to be able to kick a field goal, and that actually, Mater Dei, what a bounce, though. Stayed in bounds, so this was a huge break for Mater Dei, an outstanding punt all the way to the 38-yard line, so that completely changes things.
Well, if you're going to hit one in the first half, that's pretty gosh darn good timing there.
Yeah. He's been a little bit short on his punts there, but now Jasper has the football with only 37 seconds to go. Man comes out. Ball sits right at the 37.
I've got this very well could be, Beekler needs to be out there doing a little player exchange here.
Yeah, they're actually, the play calls for double tight end. We got actually 2 wingbacks here. Play clock down to 8 seconds right now. Man has it. He's going to make a move right there. And coughs up the football, though. Wow, man, with an outstanding run to about the 47-yard line, and then he just lost the handle of the football, and Mater Dei picks it up at the 42, actually.
Silly, silly things. I would not be surprised with the ball on their 42-yard line that Mater Dei doesn't take a shot.
Well, you got to in this situation. 30.4 on the clock. But yeah, man was pretty well off to the races there, but then just lost the handle of the football. Couldn't see if a Mater Dei player got his hand on it or not, but regardless, another turnover for the Wildcats. It's 2 here in the first half. Wunderlich trying to set up a screen. There's Foley trying to make a move. Now he just guns it downfield. I tell you what, that kid has got a gun. Once he kind of gets a better feel for the game and everything, this is going to be another outstanding Mater Dei quarterback.
Well, some of the Jasper fans over here are wanting to block in the back when Foley went through, but what had happened was Foley jumped up and tried to bat the ball down, and when he did that, he lunged himself in front of the guy, so he really initiated that contact, and that's why the referee didn't throw the flag.
So 23.8 seconds on the clock. 2nd down. Pitching out there to Pierre. Pierre makes a move, and he is tackled there by Giesler, so he's going to have enough, I think, for the first down. That's going to stop the clock briefly, but Mater Dei does not call a timeout, so that clock's going to run again here, and now they do. So they stop it right there at 15.8 seconds. So another quick break here. Jasper up 14-0. 15 seconds to go here in the first half on 18 WJTS. All right, so the ball rests at the 47-yard line. Mater Dei in Jasper territory. 15 seconds to go here in the first half. 14-0. Mater Dei trails. And a quick pitch out to the sideline, and he's able to keep his toe in bounds. So he's right there at the 35-yard line. So he's able to hook up with number 24, Landon Foltz. And, that's the thing. I mean, Mater Dei's actually got a good kicking game, too. So, they're at least maybe thinking 3 if they can't get a home run ball here with just 11.5 to go in the first half.
I would, unless they're planning on using, I believe, their last time out, they will be shooting towards the sidelines. There they go again.
There's another bullet. Again, the same play, and this time he's able to make a move and cut inside. Now he's looking for the end zone, or at least the middle of the field, still on his feet. And will he run the clock out? And I'll tell you what, that was a huge break for the Jasper Wildcats. Actually, that play took all 11.5 seconds to go. And Mater Dei, who was looking to at least get 3 points on the board, but number 24, Landon Foltz, was thinking way more than that, and he runs to the middle of the field, and so a huge break for Jasper there, Bob.
Look at Mike Abel. He's out there talking to the young man. You know, that Jasper's pursuit, he was getting away, but he was not going to cover the rest of the yards needed to get in the end zone. So as soon as he got hit, Gable was ready to call timeout. He wouldn't go, and you are correct. That was a point-saving play right there for Jasper.
Absolutely. So Jasper leads here at halftime, 14-0 over the Mater Dei Wildcats here on 18 WJTS. We're at halftime here at Jerry Brewer Alumni Stadium. Game played on Joe Rohleder Field, and tonight was actually homecoming for the Jasper Wildcat football team. And we'll go through everybody as a part of the court. First for the ball and crown carriers, we had Brinley Byer, Maya Kendall, and Nash Mahar carrying the football. And then the freshman candidates included Macy Stiles, escorted by Carson Kelly. And then there is Giselle Bez, escorted by Landon Fleck. The sophomore candidates included Reagan Fortwendell and Daniel King as her escort. And Anna Underwood, escorted by Jaden Baglin. And the juniors included Maggie Hubster, escorted by Hudson Heil, and Avery Kinese, escorted by Jack Hankey. And then your seniors. Seniors included Priya Sharma, and Priya was escorted by Clayton Moondy. Kimber Burke was escorted by Will Colin, and Kendall Rue was escorted by A.J. Sermersheim. So crowning the king and queen tonight. Crowners are Addison Kloss and Bennett Schmidt. And our homecoming king
is Clayton Moondy.
Clayton Moondy, homecoming king. There you go. So Clayton got a big round of applause and a cheer from the crowd over there. And the homecoming queen was
Kendall Rue.
Kendall Rue. So congratulations to both Kendall, the queen, for the 2021 season, and Clayton Moondy is the football king. So congratulations to everybody a part of the homecoming court. And we are getting set for the second half, where the Wildcats of Jasper will be kicking off to Mater Dei. And taking a look at the first half numbers, Blake Mann, 12 carries for 105 yards rushing. He was 3 of 4 passing for 25 yards and a touchdown pass. So the scores for the Wildcats included Lance Dawkins with a 9-yard run with 7 minutes, 19 seconds on the clock in the first quarter. And then Caleb Berger hauled in that 18-yard pass from Blake Mann to give the Wildcats that 14-0 lead. And 2 Wildcat receivers for the Wildcats of Jasper. Caleb Berger had 2 catches for 20 yards, including the touchdown grab and a 5-yard catch for Isaac Day. Dawkins had 43 yards rushing. Day had 9. And Caleb Berger with 1 carry for no gain there. But taking a look over at the numbers, the Wildcats 28 offensive plays for 182 yards. Now Mater Dei, most of their offense came through the air. 117 yards passing for Mason Wunderlich, 13 of 20 passing. Came into the game completing 65% of his passes. So, but Mater Dei not able to get in the end zone. He spread that among 4 different receivers, led by Preston Turner, who had 5 catches for 25 yards. All right, so the Cats, Sermersheim out there to kick off. And he pops it, so it's going to be fielded right there at the 24-yard line. I was trying to see, was that actually return that. Okay, is number 10. I was going to say you couldn't quite see his number. It was a little bunched up there, but that was Bryce Humphrey who returned that football to the 38-yard line. So outstanding field position for Mater Dei.
Yeah, and I tell you what, our defense really has to, I think it's very important for them to get Mater Dei to punt the ball. It is 14-0. Jasper's feeling pretty good, but if Mater Dei puts this in the end zone, face masks are going to get another 10.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they're going to actually stop his progress right at the 45-yard line, so a 7-yard hookup as he's able to connect with Ryan Taylor there.
Jasper's very fortunate tonight that putting the ball down on the turf and having some drive-ending penalties, they're just very fortunate that the team that they're playing is doing the same thing. If they play like this, if they get loose with the ball like this next week going into Central Stadium, that could be a long evening.
So that is a personal foul face mask. So 15 yards you're going to tack onto that. So now Mater Dei getting deeper into Wildcat of Jasper territory at the 39-yard line. 1st and 10. Pitch out to Pierre. Pierre sees an opening to the left side. Now he actually kind of stumbles. I think if he stayed north and south, he'd have possibly picked up another 2 or 3 yards on that run. But actually, Wildcats of Jasper were able to stop him at a 3-yard gain.
Well, he bounced it out east and west because you're right. He got the initial yards going north and south really quick, but Jasper's defender was able to take the blocker and drive him back, so he had to sidestep.
So they pitch out to Pierre. Now look at that, and wide open in the middle of the field as he's able to race 36 yards for the touchdown. So a running game that was basically nothing in the first half for Mater Dei. Pierre, just like that, in 2 carries, is able to get Mater Dei on the board, and we got a football game, Bob.
Yeah, this is just kind of what I was thinking about at halftime with Jasper's lost opportunities. We essentially took 2 scores off the board. Dawkins down here and man over there. So their offense better come back on the field and do something here. Mater Dei's smiling pretty heavy right now.
So the extra point goes right through for Jordan Atherton. And just like that, Mater Dei has this score. It's 14-7, 11:06 to go here in the third quarter. You're watching the Wildcats of Jasper here on 18 WJTS. Well, it only took 54 seconds, but Mater Dei is on the board, 14-7. A 36-yard run by sophomore running back, 5'7", Joey Pierre.
He's got some wheels in the first half when he bounced it to the outside. He was really close of going there too, but did a nice job of going outside, and Jasper over pursued, cut it back up through the middle, and away he went.
So Pierre actually had 4 carries for only a net of 3 yards in that first half.
Shout out to the Mater Dei student section over there. They're not great in number, but boy, they are loud.
Kick all the way to, actually they're going to call it a touchback, so probably a break for the Jasper Wildcats there as Berger had 1 foot in the end zone, and in high school football it hits that end zone, it's an automatic touchback, but I don't know if he'd have been able to get back to that 20-yard line on that kickoff.
Well, it's amazing what a score will do for a team, especially teams came out. That was the best kickoff they've had all night, and the white shirts got a little more pep in their step. It's very important for the offense to come take this game back.
All right, so the Wildcats, again, an early scoring opportunity that was foiled by a fumble by Lance Dawkins, as it looked like he was heading towards the end zone. And then Blake Mann, when the Wildcats were able to get the football late back in the second half, and after Mann had a nice first down run, he lost the handle of the football. So here we are, 14-7 in a football game that the Jasper Wildcats had opportunities to take complete control in the first half.
Yeah, they flew to the ball right there on that play right there with Dawkins. They had 5 guys hitting him.
So Jasper letting the clock click down to 10 seconds before Mann goes under center here. Mann's going to run the option. Pitches it out to Berger, and Berger actually steps out of bounds, yeah. All right, so Berger's able to pick up about 3 on the run. So now the Wildcats of Jasper, 3rd and 6.
Well, we're going to find out a little bit about the fortitude of the guys in black right there. No game this year did you really ever feel it was in doubt. This one could go the other way pretty quick. So now that they've got pressure, you got somebody pushing back, now how do you react? Well, we were taking forever to get those plays in.
All right, so this time Dawkins, there you go. So Dawkins sees an opening and gets to the 33-yard line. 2 hands on that football to protect it as well.
Well, he hit the hole with authority, and our linemen did a good job of actually pinching their linebackers back. So Dawkins was able to get running downhill, and when you get big old number 23 running downhill, it's a long night for the defense.
So a 9-yard pickup gives the Jasper Wildcats 1st and 10 with 10:02 on the clock right now. Ball at the 33-yard line. Day keeps it and actually darts to his right side. The play was going to his left, but he saw an opening, and he's able to get to the 40-yard line, and he took a pop.
We've seen him do that a couple of times down in the Wrights game, to where usually he fakes it to Dawkins, and then it comes off to his hip coming to the outside. But Mater Dei is starting to shoot so aggressively, he's trying to sneak in that back door, and he had a nice gain there. If he pops one, that's going to stop that pursuit, which should open things up for Dawkins.
Sure. All right, so Albrand, the only man split out. 2 slots back there, 1 comes in motion. Now they actually run a counter to the opposite side, and that's Day. So Day lowers his head, and he's able to get across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Well, 6-yard run there.
If we can, control the ball and not put it on the turf, Jasper's shown the ability to move the sticks. So it's just those silly things that we can't do.
So 1st and 10 from the 47. 9:02 on the clock. Jasper actually going no huddle here. Dawkins to the right side. And the football falls on the field. And is this another turnover? They still not have given any indication. Ooh, Jasper does come up with the recovery. Oh, man. What a break there. I think that might have been Heichelbeck, the left tackle, who was able to get on that football. Huge break for Jasper.
What's funny about that is it really did appear that Mater Dei got that, but when you have that many piles, it's not really who recovers the ball, it's who has it when the referees unstack everybody. And Heichelbeck seemed to save the skin of the Wildcats on that one.
So actually a 5-yard pickup on the play. So Jasper has got to protect this football. Man keeps it. They don't quite realize it until he gets to the 45, and then he's able to advance to the 43, and he'll have enough for the 1st down.
Well, Man is doing the motion with his hand for the play call to come in faster than what it is. He wants to get moving. This is definitely a different speed than what Jasper's been running most of the year. I'm kind of wondering if the coaching staff is trying to slow him down a little bit. Because when you get too scatterbrained, you just chaos. That's usually when the ball hits the turf.
All right, so Dawkins to the right side, and he is met immediately. Coming up is number 63. He was able to wrap around him. That's Nicholas Boots making a play.
Nice job of getting up and getting into Dawkins' legs right away.
So the Cats now going with the huddle here, and actually brought in Michael Beekler, so they'll have a double tight end set this time as Albrand came out. So no gain on the play. 2nd down from the 42.
Our offensive line has to start imposing their will.
Day comes in motion. Now here comes Man running the option. He lowers his head, gets across the 40 to the 39.
Well, I tell you what, when he got hit the first couple of times, that ball was out loose again. Fortunate he was quick enough to get it down into in both his hands when the hard contact came. We cannot afford, we got very fortunate that Heichelbeck got on that ball. We cannot afford to give the ball right back to him and give more life back into the Mater Dei Wildcats.
So it's a 3rd and long, 3rd and 7 from the 39. Day comes in motion. Man had a tough time. He's got Connor Foley wide open, and he gets over the shoulder catch, and he's able to get all the way down to the 11-yard line. So a big play for the Jasper Wildcats. Actually, they'll spot it at the 12.
Man did an awesome job of getting that ball out because he had pressure in his face right away. But once again, Foley has shown that if you get the ball in his area, he's going to pull that in. That was a heck of a catch, two-handed, over the shoulder, with the defensive guy breathing down on you. That was impressive.
So the big night for the 6'5" tight end, number 89, with a big catch there, 27 yards. That's the Wildcats' 1st and 10 from the 11. Man actually pops inside there, and now is it another lost football?
I think they called him down.
Yeah, it looks like they're saying. Oh boy, so he did hang on to the football. So it looked like it might have been knocked loose there, and actually Cats had the ball at the 12-yard line, so.
Coach Lewis walked out to about the 20-yard line out there, and he was letting them know that he is not pleased with what's happening.
Not at all. All right, so the ball's at the 7, so we'll call it a 5-yard pickup there. Dawkins gets inside the 5, so that's going to be 1st down yardage.
Well, his success has come tonight when Mater Dei is coming in from the side. I said it once earlier, when he gets his body going downhill, he's going to get at least 3 yards after contact. And down here at the goal line, your defense, you just can't afford that. You've got to get in his legs.
So that's a 1st and goal for the Wildcats from the 1. Man easily walks into the end zone. So a much-needed touchdown for the Wildcats to match the Mater Dei. 7 points on the board to start the second half. And with 5:05 to go, Jasper leads 20-7.
Jasper was very fortunate on that drive. Very fortunate. Putting the ball down on the turf twice during that drive. Somebody was heads up for the black and gold and jumped on it. And then, of course, Foley pulled in an unbelievable catch on an all-important 1st down.
Huge play. All right, so Sermersine pops it right through. So Jasper leads this football game now 21-7 with 5:05 to go here in the 3rd quarter. You're watching the Wildcats against Mater Dei here on 18 WJTS. Cats pretty well a workman-type drive there. No play bigger than 9 yards until that pass hookup where Man was able to find his tight end, Connor Foley, number 89, for a 27-yard hookup, and eventually led to the 1-yard touchdown run by Blake Mann.
Let's see if they try to pooch this again.
And they actually do, and that's going to be fielded right at the 30-yard line. The Cats quickly there to stop it, so gets it right again. Excellent field position at the 37, 38 actually. They actually brought in that time number 80, Sam Leonard, kicked off there.
It's been a long time since I've seen the consistency of the starting field position for both teams this year. It's got to be the 30, 35-yard line.
Yeah. So 1st and 10. Wunderlich chucks out to the flat, and he completes it. So, again, just those short passes. This time he goes to Preston Turner, but short passing game, though, picking up 7, 8, 9 yards a pop.
Well, they brought the slot back in towards the middle of the field, and Dave, for some reason, planted his foot and started to roll with him for about a half yard before he realized somebody else had him. When he rolled back outside, they've already had the big yards.
So Pierre, who's had a big run already with the touchdown run, and he's able to get the 1st down yardage needed. They only needed 1 on that 2nd and 1. And he's able to take it for about a 6-yard gain.
Well, the story's turning out to be for the Jasper defense is what can you do on 1st down? Usually tonight, when Jasper's got a pretty good stop, that really stifles Mater Dei, unless, and then if Mater Dei gets a penalty on top of that. But when they're getting their 2nd and 4 and 5, it just opens up their playbook.
Well, they're starting to show some confidence in Pierre as he gets another carry there for 3 yards.
Their quarterback, he's every bit of 6'2", but their linemen, they're like the perfect linemen. They're 5'10", 5'11", 190, 205. I mean, that's a solid package.
So 2nd and 7, now a little play action. They chuck it out to Pierre, but what a read there by Peter. Number 2, Ross Peter, the senior, comes up and puts a big hit on the running back and stops that screenplay.
What an open field tackle by Peter. He saved a lot of turf from being chewed up on that one.
So they try to play action to Pierre there and then end up passing it off to him. Peter plays one of the safety spots. The Wildcats pretty well with a 5-man backfield for the most part, but their safeties kind of walk up into outside linebacker spots.
Well, with about 2:55 to go in the 3rd and down 14 points, you would think this is 4-down territory.
Pass out in the flat is complete, and that is Grant Maringer making the stop, throws him out of bounds at the 40-yard line, so he's able to hook up right there with number 80, Landon Elpers.
That was huge to keep the yards after the catch down. In fact, non-existent on that particular play. Now, when Mater Dei has run into these type of situations, it's been the little screen flare passes out here on the side, on the strong side. Let's see what they do here.
Well, actually, Jasper's going to call the timeout. They weren't happy with the defense that they had against that formation. Mater Dei was all set to go for it on 4th and 4, so we'll take a break here. 2:45 to go into the 3rd. Jasper's up by 2 touchdowns, 21-7 here on 18 WJTS. All right, so Coach Tony Lewis wanted the timeout there. A crucial situation here, 4th and 4. Mater Dei going for it. Ball rests at the 40-yard line with 2:45 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Looks like we want to bring some heat.
And we got some movement on the Mater Dei side, so it looked like the right guard there, or right tackle. I'm trying to see his number. But a false start against Mater Dei. And I think that was number 63, the right tackle, Nicholas Boots.
Well, as a defensive player, when you look up, because you get the play clocks on both sides of the field, and you see the numbers start to get pretty low, it gets a whole lot easier to guess when they're going to snap that ball. And Jasper was bringing heat with three different defenders, caused them to jump.
So now 4th and 9, and he rifles it out there and almost intercepted, but knocked down. Great play there by Jack Albrand, number 4.
Yeah, that was a do or die right there. That's one, as a coach, you tell your player, look, if you're going to try to get that ball, you better get it, because if not, he's going to the house. And Albrand was the right man at the right time.
All right, so Cats will have the football at the 45-yard line. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. They have a 2-touchdown lead, 21-7. Blake Mann brings his offense back onto the football field.
Jasper can run out this clock in the 3rd quarter, get a score. That's really going to make things difficult on the Wildcats from Evansville.
There's Dawkins, 2 hands on the football again, and he's able to get across midfield to the 48.
All year long, this is what Coach Lewis has been talking about with his Jasper Wildcat football team this year. Late in the game, their conditioning, they are able to stay at that high level and start to take over a game. We'll see if that holds true in this game.
The Wildcats trying to use some clock here and actually snap the ball with the 15-second mark, but there's Dawkins, gets across the 40-yard line, so strength shown on that run to get the first down and plenty more.
It's got to be really disconcerting for a defense to have 3 guys on a particular player and the pile still going the other way.
So 9 yards for Dawkins there. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats from the 39. Snap comes right here at the 11-second mark. Dawkins gets it again, and again just trying to use every bit of his sprint there to get the yardage, but that's a tough one there as he only gains 1.
Running Dawkins 3 times in a row on that, well, they ran him the 3 times, but the 2 times previous, they were playing out a little bit. They really stunted the middle hard on that one. It's going to be interesting to see if man sees that coming on this 2nd down and then bounces it outside.
So clock continues to run. We're at 1:13, 1:12, still in the 3rd quarter, 21-7. Jasper with the lead here. 2nd down and 9 from the 38-yard line. Now they give it to Berger on the counter to the right side. Berger showing some speed and strength as he's able to get it to the 31. 8-yard pickup there on that 2nd down run.
Well, if he continues to run like that, Berger's going to be getting the ball more and more often because he came through with authority and he pushed a few guys back as he went through. And as we talked about modern day getting into 3rd and short situations being bad for us, of course we're going to talk about the opposite, being that we have the ball. Berger got us 3rd and short. That's a very good thing for the black and gold.
So actually, Cats need just around 2 yards, we'll call it. 3rd and 2, but Dawkins easily gets it as he's able to power his way all the way to the 25-yard line.
In last game, when you had mentioned about Dawkins popping it out towards the tackles, we were getting a little bit later in the game. And that seems to be almost a trend because that's what he's doing now.
Right. All right, so the Wildcat offense on the ground, and a big pass play led to their touchdown here in this 3rd quarter. They lead 21-7 as we come to the end, and we'll be right back with the 4th here on 18 WJTS. Jasper Wildcats sitting at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10 to start the 4th quarter here. Man looks to the sideline as he communicates with Matt Bajorek over here, the offensive coordinator. Sending his signals. He brings Day in motion, but now there goes man straight up, and he follows Dawkins through the hole, keeps the football himself, and gets across the 22, about the 17, maybe 16. See where they spot it, 16 maybe.
I know that man was over 100 yards in the 1st half, but he seems to be playing a little different tonight. It's really impressive if you think about, he's broke off some long runs, but for the majority of the time, he's been making the right read, and that means that he does not have the ball in his hand.
Dawkins has it in his hand. He goes to the left side, and he stays on his feet as he gets inside the 5 before the pile stops. So he easily gets the 1st down all the way down to the 2-yard line. So 1st and goal there, 14-yard run for number 23.
You know, don't ask me why, but the other day I was just kind of thinking about this. We as sports pundits, we try to compare people, and I know a lot of the time it's not fair, but Dawkins reminds me a lot of a guy by the name of John Goldsberry that played down at Heritage Hills.
Heritage Hills, yeah. Again, just a power runner. And man tries to go off tackle that time, keeps the football, but he's going to be short. So actually no gain on the play, so 2nd and goal from the 2.
Modern day's backside defense did a nice job of not giving that lane. When Dawkins came through and they stunted towards him on the strong side, man stayed right on his hip, which you got all that congestion. It's going to be hard to get through there, but modern day took away the backside.
Clock running at 10:20 right now. 2nd and goal. Dawkins, left side, follows his offensive line right into the end zone for the 3-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, when we talk about offensive players, you've heard the term over the years of thunder and lightning, and there's no better example than Lance Dawkins and Blake Mann, and that was a whole bunch of thunder rumbling into that end zone right there.
So the Wildcats with 9 offensive plays all on the ground there to chew up some clock, but more importantly, put more points on the board as Summerside puts the 7th up there. So now they're up 28-7 with 10:15 to go here in the 4th quarter. You're watching the Wildcats here on 18 WJTS. So number 80, Sam Leonard, will get another call to kick the football off here. 28-7, a little bit lower kick this time, and actually will be fielded at the 10-yard line.
Got to the backside. Nice pursuit.
So there we go. The Wildcats actually closing in, and so Mater Dei will start from the 31-yard line, 1st and 10. 10:05 on the clock here, fourth quarter. Jasper up 28-7. So on that last drive there, Jasper ran the football 9 out of the 9 plays there. Big plays were 2 9-yard runs, one by Dawkins, one by Mann, and then a 14-yard run by Dawkins. Finished up with a 3-yard touchdown run. Gives to Pierre there coming out of the backfield, and so he'll pick up a couple.
Well, they stuck their quarterback under center on that one. He's been predominantly running out of the shotgun tonight. That Pierre, he's got some really good lateral movement.
Well, the thing is, that's the future of this football team, too. You got Mason Wonderlook, a sophomore. Pierre's a sophomore.
Yeah, as you look out there at Mater Dei, you see a few 11s, which are juniors, sprinkled around a little bit, but it seems like they're either seniors or sophomores. Good pressure.
A lot of pressure, but he's able to complete the pass, so Pierre's got it, and he scampers his way across the 40. So he may be about a yard shy of that first down, so a pickup of 7 on that screen play.
Well, as a defense, you definitely don't want to give up yards, and you definitely don't want to give up points. But as you look up and you see the fourth quarter just going under the 9-minute mark, if Mater Dei scores and they want to take 4 or 5 minutes to do it, Coach Lewis he's okay with that.
Short yardage, they give it to Pierre, and he's able to get that first down. Where they're making the stop was number 58, Jacob Potts.
Yeah, the clock is definitely Mater Dei's enemy right now, and if you see the defensive backfield of Jasper, they're actually starting to take a few steps back. Definitely do not give them the quick, big play. Because at this point, when your offense comes back out, if you take care of the ball, it should all be over but the singing.
All right, so the official actually calls a timeout here.
Official timeout.
I'm not sure what it's about, though. Stops the clock at 8:24 right now.
I've been quite impressed with Wonderlick tonight. He delivers a really good ball, and he's got, being a sophomore, he's got a heck of an accuracy throwing the ball 35, 40 yards down the field.
Yeah, he's definitely got a strong arm. And again, a great size for a high school quarterback, and he connects right there, and good move, and actually cuts inside and gets across the 30 before Meringer's able to bring down number 86, Ryan Taylor.
Well, although he's had some other receivers, Taylor has been the one. So you really got to pay particular attention to him. And Taylor did a nice job of coming out and kind of sitting. And then when he threw the ball, he actually rotated towards the quarterback and found the open spot. So that's not where the play was designed, but when it opened, he had found it.
So the pass play goes for 28 yards. Football actually on the 28. Now there's a pass out there, a slant, and he's able to connect with number 24, Landon Foltz, on that play. And that looks like that's going to be enough for a first down.
Boy, I tell you what, when he delivered that ball, Ross Peter was inches from knocking that down. That pinpoint passing from coming across the middle is going to really be a strong point with this man. It's strong now, but as he gets older and he reads it a little bit quicker, oh, good night, look out.
So we got 7:26 on the clock right now. Now Pierre gets it, and he darts to the outside and then cuts in, so he's going to pick up 10 on that run.
Yeah, they're definitely moving it down pretty quickly. They're getting just over the 2-minute mark of possession, and they're already down on their 9 yards. 8-yard line. We are just giving up too much chunks of yards at one time.
So he's just short of the first down, so a 1-yarder, and now he pitches out to Pierre. And what a defensive play there. Good read. Actually trying to say, is Sheeter, number 53, making the pop.
Well, he came in. Sheeter's done a lot of nice things for Jasper tonight, and we needed somebody to stand up at that point and make a statement, and it does not surprise me that Sheeter was the one.
So a big stop there, short of the first down, so it's going to be 3rd and 1 again. Man in motion to our near side. Now he raises up to throw the football, connects, and he loses it, but it looks like it's going to be recovered in the end zone for the touchdown. So he was able to complete that pass to Ryan Taylor. He made that football move, but then lost the handle. Right there, Landon Foltz gets credit for the touchdown.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. But when he stood up and he threw that ball, he covered about 20 yards in the snap of a finger. The future is bright for that young man. Our defense wasn't bad. It was just perfect timing and put it in the perfect spot.
All right, so the extra point goes right through, so Mater Dei doesn't waste much time there. 28-14, Jasper leads. They'll get the football to go back here, but 6:16 to go here in the fourth quarter here on 18 WJTS. All right, so the Mater Dei Wildcats going a 69-yard drive in 8 plays. One of the highlights there was a 28-yard hookup from the quarterback, Mason Wunderlich, hitting Ryan Taylor. And then eventually they connect for a 9-yard pickup. It looked like Taylor was going to take it in for the end zone, but then he fumbles the football into the end zone, and it was actually recovered right there by Landon Foltz. So that's where we stand right now with 6:16 to go, 28-14. What do you think, Bob? Onside possibly here?
Well, Jasper's thinking. You know, they brought their hands team in. They got them all scrunched up. Mater Dei has not been able to stop Jasper here in the second half from eating 5-6 minutes at a time, regardless of whether they score or not. And here it comes.
So there's the onside attempt, and Auburn actually loses he fell down actually there, and then coming up the field it was Will Winesapple, but he could not hang on to the football, drops it, and Mater Dei recovers the football, so they are in business right here, down by 2 touchdowns, 6:13 to go, and in Wildcat territory at the 48.
Well, what do you and I talk about at the beginning of the game? When you are favored in a game and you let the underdogs stick around. Now, Mater Dei from the very get-go, I give them credit, they've had fight. But Jasper's mistakes have put them in the situation that they're in right now. So as a coach, what you're looking for is your defense to go out there, make a stop, so you can use this as coaching moments. But they better tighten up right now and not give up the 8-9 yards at a
Actually,
nice
sweep to the outside, and they lose I thought he lost the football the way Geisler was coming up there. But yeah, nice defensive player there by the Wildcats. Was that Maringer?
No, that was Peter.
Peter, there we go.
Just a fantastic open field tackle.
So loss of 3 on that run. It was actually number 21, Preston Turner, on the sweep.
Well, you know, Peter coming up and making that stop right there. When you get into times like this and teams start to drop their head a little bit, you expect your seniors to step up, and he did on that one. A give and go.
Wunderlich cannot connect, though, on the long ball. He had number 24, Landon Foltz, and he was about 2 or 3 steps in front of Ian Geisler on the sideline, but they weren't able to connect.
Well, the Mater Dei coaching staff, that drive, their last scoring drive, they were going down, having the receivers sit at the first down marker. That time, Foltz came down, sat down, our 2 guys bid on it, and then he spun and went down the field. If Wunderlich doesn't put so much air in there, we've got a 28-21 game.
All right, so this is a big situation for the Jasper Wildcats, and now they're trying to set up the screen. He's able to connect, and look at Sheeter right there again. Number 53 just plowed right into number 25, Pierre.
Boy, I tell you what, there's 3 or 4 times tonight Sheeter's about made me come out of my chair. He read that perfectly. Mater Dei went back to the well. They had the defensive line too deep. So if Sheeter's not there, they're pushing a first down marker if they don't get it. So Sheeter stepped up, made the play.
So Ross Peter, along with Sheeter, making big plays here, setting up this fourth down situation here. Now he's going to look long, just chucks it out there. Albran's got a chance to pick it off, and he just knocks it out of bounds. That was a smart play right there by Albran.
That was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You know that you put yourself in situations, especially if you're back there at the safety saying, if they throw deep, this is what I'm going to do. But when you see an interception like that coming towards you, it's very easy to go ahead and try to intercept it, make a nice run back and take it to the house, you know, kind of pad your stats a little bit. But a decision for the betterment of the team was awesome.
Well, it's all about, field position right there. So, again, defense doing the job there, getting good pressure on the quarterback, and he throws a long pass that Albran's able to knock away. But, again, Peter and Sheeter with great plays. And Dawkins gets it to the left side, and he's able to stay in bounds, so that's the important thing there. But pick up a 5 on that first down play.
Yeah, it's so elementary right now. The bottom of the world almost has to fall out for Jasper to lose this game right now, because our history has shown give the ball to Dawkins and just let him get 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards, 4 yards. And then all of a sudden, that's when man sees the defensive backs and the linebackers cheating towards Dawkins, and then he pops out. But first down here, eat the clock.
So clock drops down to 3:59. We're inside of 4 minutes. And Dawkins continues forward there and gets to the 41-yard line. So third down and short we'll be facing here.
What they used to say back in the day, 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Yep.
Well, on this new field, you're not going to see so much dust, but, you know, that's the principle. And when you've got somebody like Dawkins in the backfield, boy, that is a luxury.
All right, so milking the clock down. We're at 10 seconds right now on the play clock. 3:20 on the game. Jasper up by 2 touchdowns. Mater Dei with the onside kick recovery, with the Jasper Wildcat defense doing the job, and Dawkins will get the necessary yardage there. First and 10 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, this is just good old school Jasper football right now. We've got a lead. Let's eat it up. This is what we're doing, Mater Dei. Try to stop us, and Mater Dei is just not pulling it off.
See, Albran checks out there as the Wildcats will go to the double tight end. Down to 3:01 on the clock right now. 15 seconds on the game. On the play, I'm sorry. By the time he snaps his football, we'll be at about 2:46. Dawkins, left side. Again, just needs to protect that football. And Mater Dei uses one of their timeouts here. So with 2:38 on the clock, when we come back, it'll be second down from the 37-yard line. Wildcats lead Mater Dei 28-14 here on 18 WJTS. All right, so after the timeout, Jasper with the football, 2nd and 9 from the 37-yard line. He's still waiting for the play from the sideline. Now it's underway. Clock doesn't start until the game starts. Ooh, almost a loss of the football there. Dawkins juggled it a little bit. More importantly than anything, protecting this football, milking this clock right now. Mater Dei is going to call another timeout. So 2:33 on the clock, 28-14 Jasper over Mater Dei here on 18 WJTS. Third down and 10 for the Wildcats. Ball rests at the 38-yard line, 2:33 on the clock. And now we got a penalty flag, and this is on the Wildcats of Jasper, so that's going to push us back 5.
Well, the game plan right now is very simple for Coach Lewis. Yes, you want the first down. Yes, you want eating the clock. But on those 2 particular plays to where Mater Dei was able to stop Jasper for little to no gain, the other part of that game plan was, okay, that's fine. Now Mater Dei has to use their timeouts. So if they do get the ball back, if it's not a first down and they don't step out of bounds, you're just shooting yourself in the foot.
Right. All right, so 3rd and 15, and now another penalty. So it's 2 straight on Jasper. My goodness, it's like, you still got the football on your side of the field, but on the Mater Dei side, I guess. But he's back 5. That's going to put it at the 48 now.
He's letting man know right now, you get out there and you get those young men under control.
So 2 straight penalties on the Jasper Wildcats. Thing is, and that stops the clock as well.
One thing I picked up from Coach Lewis, watching him this year, is when silly, unforced mistakes like this happen, he kind of tilts his head to the side a little bit, trying to stretch out.
He needs to be watching that play clock. We're down to 2 seconds, 1 second. Just gets it underway. Man's looking to throw. Dumps it out there, and now it is picked off. Man tried to throw it over there. I think that was intended for Day. And Mater Dei has intercepted. Oh, man. You want to talk about changing things here quickly. So now the Wildcat defense or did it fall incomplete? Oh, my goodness. So he did not catch it. Okay.
Well, first of all, that stops the clock.
Yeah.
That is the only time this year, and so I guess we're very fortunate to where I can kind of scratch my head and like, why are we throwing in that situation?
Right. All right, so the Cats are going to punt here. Man. It's going to be fielded at about the 6-yard line. We got a penalty flag here, so this is probably going to go against Mater Dei, but returns the football. Now we got another flag over there. So 2 penalty flags, and a 3rd one comes out now.
That's getting a little chippy out there.
Yeah, I think this might be on the Mater Dei player. That was number 13, Alex Money, kind of jawing and getting into it with Albran over there.
Well, yeah, he was, but right before that, the first flag we seen come out, Humphrey for Mater Dei, was stretching his jersey. And then the other guy came up from behind and kept a little cheap shotting him in the shoulder pads. And you got any pride at all, and we all know about all brands, they've got pride. They're not going to let you do that.
No. All right, so the officials, there's 4 of them over there huddled together trying to figure it out. So one official has the football right there at the 18-yard line. 2:12 is on the clock, so at least for Jasper, that's the most important thing. 2-touchdown lead, 28-14.
And making Mater Dei burn their timeouts. So that's why I was a little surprised that we put the ball up in the air.
Yeah, man, in that situation, just trying to make a play, but fortunate it was not picked off because it looked like it was right in the breadbasket of the Mater Dei defender. All right, so we got a personal foul. That is, okay, so we got offsetting penalties here. So does that mean, I guess they're going to punt it again? Wow. That's a big break for Mater Dei, actually, because they at least get another opportunity here for number 1 to try to block the punt, but number 2 to get a better return than what they got on the last return. So number 21's back there again. That's Preston Turner.
Well, you've seen the coaching staff come out to Albran saying that, and we understand, but, you got to keep it cool.
Right.
Here they come.
Man,
nice
it's another
job.
Pretty good punt there, and now there's no return actually. So, and that milks more time off the clock. So 9 seconds roll off the clock on that punt there, and it pushes Mater Dei inside the 10.
I think in that particular position, you almost have to force the issue and see if you can scoop that ball up and go, because if not, you see the result. They're pinned down, and if they don't hit a couple of big plays, they are definitely not going to have enough time.
Right. Okay, so Mater Dei will have the football. They need to go 92 yards to make it a 1-score game. Right now they trail by 2 touchdowns, 28-14, 2:03 on the clock. He finds him in an open seam, and he's able to break away there. So number 21, Preston Turner. Pass play all the way to the 33-yard line.
Well, a couple of times this year, man has been able to go up and hit people's shoulders and knock them down. That one didn't go down. He better learn to wrap.
All right, so Wunderlich chucks it out. Wide open receiver over there. And a shoestring tackle by Gieser knocks him out of bounds, but another big gain of about 14 on that play.
Yeah, we've got to make them, we've got to keep at least a couple of downs inside the sticks to keep that clock running. Right now, they're just hitting it, and they're so fast at getting up on the line, they'll move right down the field if we don't stand up and make a stop.
Wunderlich this time out into the flat, and the Cats actually are able to stop, and good tackle there by Allbrand. So number 3, Jackson Brantley on the catch, gets into Wildcat territory of Jasper. 49-yard line.
We'll probably get the ball snapped around the 120, 118 mark.
Clock is rolling. We're at 1:16. Chucks it out there. He's got a man wide open. We got penalty flags, though, all over the place.
Coach Lewis thinks it's going the other way. I think that was what they call a little pick play.
Yeah, Taylor's got his hands up with kind of the "what did I do" motion.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. You always throw your hands up when the flags. Kind of like when I talk to my wife. What?
What is that? All right, so yes, penalty will go against Mount Vernon Mater Dei.
You know, you and I were just talking about that, about how fortunate we were to get out of the Big 8 and not hear the little joke of, like when we played Mount Vernon at the Wildcats. The Wildcats will win tonight, you know, because you got 2 teams out here. But I forgot all about the Wildcats in Mater Dei.
That's right, yeah.
So we can't get rid of that joke.
All right, so the penalty. Ball's at the 41. Quick pass out there will fall incomplete. Mater Dei fans wanted a pass interference but did not get the call. They thought Peter made contact with the receiver.
If we're all being honest engine here, I think there should have been a flag on that one too.
Come on, Bob, we're not hovers, are we?
Well, I've been accused of possibly being a homer.
We cover Jasper football. We're supposed to be graduates, citizens. All right, so the pass in the middle of the field. Chance to pick it off, and that's Blake Mann. Picks it off at the 30-yard line and seals this football game. So, again, Mater Dei with a young quarterback with a very strong arm. Just a sophomore, we're going to see better things from that young man. But right there, Blake Mann making the big defensive play to finalize this football game.
Well, we've seen some outstanding interceptions by this Jasper defensive backfield over the course of the year with tipping the ball and stuff to themselves. That right there plays right in their hands. They know he's got to throw deep, so you just play outfield. And the athlete man he had no problem hauling it in.
All right, so now we got a penalty flag here. Is that a delay of game? Oh, illegal substitution, I think, against, too many men. Okay, because I saw 13 run off the field there, and now number 20 runs off, and that's Connor Wiley. So just 5 yards for Jasper, but again, Jasper just going to finish it out here. They're up 28-14 with just 1 minute to go. So victory formation there for Mann. He takes the knee.
When you said that too many men on the field, it kind of made my heart jump a little bit there because I had initially thought it was on Jasper.
Yeah.
And Coach Lewis is not happy with some of the sloppy play Jasper's had. Now, they made the plays when they needed to, but some of that sloppy play, and Coach Lewis wants you to be pinpoint perfect from the beginning to the end. Do not take plays off, and he'll let them know about it.
So play clock at 12, game clock at 27. Blake Mann will let it get below 25, and it does. And Jasper About what I expected, Bob. I mean, when people were asking me before this football game how you think Jasper's going to do, I said Jasper should win. I think it's a 2-touchdown game, and pretty well that's what we saw tonight. Again, Mater Dei, a scrappy football team, and with some young players. We already talked about Mason Wunderlich. You got Joey Pierre, who's a really nice-looking running back, ran for the touchdown that they scored early in the third quarter there, and I'm just impressed with, basically the grit of Mater Dei, but I think Jasper just too strong for him this year.
Well, yeah, and although Jasper's made a few mistakes, Mater Dei shot themselves in the foot, but when you have a coach, Gable, over there, you were talking about in the Bossy game about them playing, going for tradition, trying to get those guys to buy in. Mater Dei has tradition. They have bought in. And Coach Gable has taken wrestlers to the state. He's had wrestlers win individual states. He's won team state championships. He's done the same thing with the football team. So when you have a leader like that come in, you know that you're going to have a gritty team. And this is what I expected from Mater Dei, a big fight.
Well, and I tell you what, when Mater Dei scored the touchdown to make it 28-14, they set up the onside kick, and just an outstanding kick by the kicker there. Jasper had a couple chances, but Albran fell down, and then Will Winesapple couldn't hang on to it there. But, but what I thought was just huge in that situation is that the defense just really stepped up and basically, 4 plays and they were out.
Well, and the big play on that defense was Sheeter coming up and putting the hammer down.
Mm-hmm.
Peters tonight, Maringer tonight, Sheeter tonight. We've been calling their numbers quite a bit. When Jasper needed the big play, more often than not, they got it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because of they're putting the ball on the turf, you said they had 2 fumbles lost, but they had 2 others put down on the turf.
Right.
So if that doesn't happen, this game's a little bit stretched out. But, even at that point, even if the score stretched out a little bit, what you said about Mater Dei is true. They're gritty, and they will fight you to the very end. So it was a good win for Jasper. They ran into some things they haven't seen this year, and they responded well.
Well, the thing is, it's pretty well a Jasper Wildcat win as far as a workmanlike effort. I mean, again, running the football, and, there weren't any spectacular runs. In fact, I'm just trying to see here if we had many runs longer than maybe 14 yards all night. But, obviously that one drive where the Wildcats took a 21-7 lead, that big pass play where Connor Foley found an opening, a nice over-the-shoulder catch from Blake Mann. So that was a 27-yard gain there. But, I mean, I just look at the numbers, and it's like 9, 7, 7, 5 yards, 9 yards here. I mean, it was just, just getting the job done for the most part.
And that's a great point, Craig. And that mentality right there, if they can keep it when needed, will take them a long way. When you don't get that burst down the field like Mann, gives you, you don't have those. You show your fans you have the ability to play either side, either just 3 yards in a cloud of dust, or we go deep downfield. So Jasper's handled it, pretty decent. No matter what the game coming towards them, if the defense is stunting, then they've got to go short or they go long. They're able to do both.
Right. Well, let's take a look at the numbers here. The Jasper Wildcats, 58 plays, 326 yards versus Mater Dei, 54 plays for 260 yards. Most of theirs coming through the air with Mason Wunderlich, the sophomore quarterback, 25 of 37, 236 yards, 1 touchdown. Was sacked a couple times tonight, and had the 1 interception at the end of the game there. So he spreaded things out there with Preston Turner, 7 catches for 61 yards. Ryan Taylor had 6 for 76, and then 6 catches for Joey Pierre coming out of the backfield. But also Joey Pierre finished the night with 67 rushing yards, where in the first half there was just nothing as far as the running game.
Grit, just like you said, that little running back, his lateral movement, but even when he got hit, he had not the size of Lance Dawkins, but he sure in the heck had the attitude.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a few times he took some guys 2-3 yards down. He just kept pounding and kept pounding and kept pounding. Of course, that was opened up by their quarterback being able to throw the way he was winging it around. He had several guys on these deep outs open and just put a little too much air underneath it.
Right.
So Mater Dei's future is bright. They're going to be able to put that running game with that quarterback, and they're going to cause some headaches for some teams for years to come.
Right. Blake Mann led the Wildcats with 133 yards on 21 carries. Lance Dawkins 24 carries for 114, and he earned a lot of those yards just by keeping his head low. And let's see here. So Dawkins scores 2 touchdowns. Mann scores 1. And Mann was 4 of 6 passing, and the big play was that 27-yard hookup with Connor Foley, but also hooked up with Berger for a touchdown as well.
The catch by Foley just still, when I close my eyes and I go back to it, to be in full stride and reach over your shoulder and stretch as far as you could possibly stretch. Foley and take it in the end zone is awesome. But Foley had a heck of a catch here coming across the 30 going towards the Mater Dei side. Penalty brought it back.
Right.
But that was a heck of a snag.
Yeah.
And when you can get a receiver that all they got to do is put it in his area. The big boy will go get it.
Yeah,
that is a luxury teams would kill to have.
Especially when you get in situations when you're down by the goal line and all that, just little jump ball situations. They'll be looking maybe for those situations coming up here in the big games they have. So, let's give hats off to the defense tonight. I mean, just an outstanding job. Ashton Sheeter led the Wildcats with 7.5 tackles, and Ross Peter had 5. Michael Beekler had 5.5 tackles. So all those guys just doing a great job all night.
Well, with Sheeter, when you say he had 7.5 tackles, that was 7.5 painful tackles for the guys in the white. But it shows you that we have multiple players willing to do whatever it takes to get the W. So the never say die attitude that Jasper rolls out, regardless of whether it's their specialty teams or their offense or defense, it can really take this Jasper team a long, long way.
It really can. All right, so the Jasper Wildcats stay atop the Southern Indiana Athletic Conference with a 5-0 record now, beating Mater Dei tonight, 28-14. Mater Dei drops to 1-4. Now it gets tough for the Cats as they have to hit the road. 3 trips down to Evansville Central, Castle, and North in the next 3 weeks, and that Central game's lining up to be a huge one next Friday night.
Yeah, I was very interested in tried to talk to a few guys and see how the Wright Central game turned out. Usually that's a head knocker regardless of, the Central's ranked so high and Wright's isn't. Throw those out the window.
Right.
When those two teams get together, it's usually a head knocker. So, and it was at the Wrights Bowl, so anything's possible down there. But it is going to come down to, in my opinion, North, Central, or Jasper.
Right, those 3 teams. All right, well, great job, Bob, and you enjoy your vacation. We'll miss you next week, but we'll keep you informed on how that football game's going as we're calling it next Friday night.
Well, I had to make a decision. Do I want to sit by a pool with a beverage in my hand or sit here and talk to you?
As the weather's getting cooler, actually,
too. Sorry, man, you lose out.
All right, no problem. All right, so for Bob Welp and Jeremy Marcos on the video, my name is Craig Schneider. Jasper beats Mater Dei 28-14 here on 18 WJTS. Good night.